Hi everyone, another video here where I wanted to just come on here because I don't know who needs to hear this, but I I have had a full week of sessions with clients, and there were two running themes that showed up in sessions this week, and I will do another video on that. But the two running themes that came into sessions this week was this worry about what other people think, this fear about what other people, like how them living their lives is going to make them not likable, and the discomfort of not being liked. The other was around the anxiety with, like the political turmoil and the uncertainty of what's going on politically. But I will do another video on that. But I wanted to speak on this video as it relates to, I'm having clients that are feeling a lot of anxiety around this idea of like them not wanting to pursue certain things because of the fear of how they're going to be perceived, like not wanting to pursue a hobby or a job, or just pursuing a relationship because they're afraid of how they're going to be judged and that people are not going to like them, or they live in the space of having anxiety about the fact that people don't like them, and wanting to understand, why don't people like me? Like, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? Why don't they like me? And it's giving them a lot of anxiety. And, one of the things that my parents have said to me, and, just in the nature of the mentors that I've had in my life, and just the nature of the work that I've been doing is, one is embracing the fact that people are not going to like you for no reason other than they just don't, right? And if you think about, sexism exists, racism exists, we would discriminate against, people who are overweight. Like, people will just not like you because they will not like you, right? Like, for no other reason other than the color of your skin or your gender or your orientation. And the faster that you can understand that some people are not going to like you for whatever reason, that is their own personal issue, the less that anxiety is going to, manifest itself in you, right? It just accepting that reality that people are not going to like you just because you exist, right? Now, that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of I don't even want to say it takes a lot of work, but it's just a constant reminder that you need to accept this idea of that people are not going to like you. And part of the frustration and resistance comes is that people sort of say, no, 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 I'm going to make you like me. I'm going to show you that, that it's okay, and like, please accept me, and or I'm going to make you accept me through, like rules, or like I'm going to make you because it's not fair. And there's this constant turmoil around, like, why don't people like me? And like, I'm going to make them like me. I did nothing wrong. And so there's like this push against wanting people to like you. And I always tell people that, people are not going to like you just because they're not going to like you. That's one, right? You can't please everybody. And the second part of that is that you don't actually want to please everybody, because everybody is different, right? The thing that I say to people all the time is, and I can say this maybe because I'm older or I've just navigated, so much adversity, is that you actually want people to not like you. You actually want people to not like you, because what that means is that you actually have drawn a line in the sand about the way that you behave and the way that you feel about the world and your values. That, when you take a stand, like 50% of the people, or whatever it is, like 10% of the people or 5% of the people are not going to like what your stand is, right? And there is an element of, I'd rather people know where I stand, and if they're with me and they support me and they're in my life, that we have values that are aligned, than to live in this vagueness of, I don't want to take a stand somewhere because I don't want to upset someone, or I don't want to offend someone, or I don't want to do whatever, right? I am not about offending people. I am not about hurting other people's feelings. I don't live in that space. That is not my intention to exclude anybody or to make somebody else feel bad or what have you. The reality is that if I believe in something, I believe in that thing, and I might be wrong and I might be whatever, but I believe in that thing, and you know about it, and there's no question about where I stand somewhere. And that is more refreshing because you know where I stand, and you know where I stand, and you can do with that what you will, right? If you decide that you don't like my stance on something, you have every right. Like, you as a human being, I am not better than you. I am just different. And it's okay to be different, right? As long as I am not like putting my values and my beliefs and infringing upon your values and your beliefs, I'm like, I want you to have a stand, right? Because now I know how to navigate with you. I know now where I stand with you, and either I want to be in your orbit or I don't, and vice versa, right? And so I am always of the sense of like, it's a good thing that people don't like you, because that just means that you stand for something. That means that you have something that is very clear to you, with the understanding that you can change your mind over time, right? But for the most part, you know where I stand. You know how I feel about something. And you then can decide that if you want to interact with me or not. So if you're struggling with this notion of, well, what are people going to think? What are people going to, what are they going to say? People are going to say, the people are going to talk regardless, right? People just want to talk just to talk. People have mouths for a reason. Everybody has an opinion, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's just being able to say, are you strong enough in your concept of self? Are you strong enough in your belief of yourself and your self-esteem to be okay with somebody not liking you or somebody disagreeing with you? The component to that I think helps, and this is where I want to try to hone in for you, that I tried to hone in for my clients this week, is try to differentiate whether someone doesn't like you or they don't like your behavior, because there is a difference between, now they might say I don't like you, but when you really try to break it down for someone, it's like, what don't you like about me? And then they might say, well, you did this and you did that and you did this. Well, those are behaviors as far as I'm concerned, right? If you cannot differentiate that who I am is at my core, I'm a kick-ass human being. I just believe that, right? And I need you to work on believing that for yourself. Now, whether I have done something, whether I have said something, whether I have engaged in some type of a dynamic that you don't like, that is very different than me not liking you, right? So, for example, I had a client that shared that, her husband had an affair and cheated on her. And, she was taking it as like, I'm a terrible person. I'm a terrible wife. I'm just like, I'm not good enough. I am just, like, I'm somebody who's not worthy of being in a relationship. There's something wrong with me. What did I do wrong? There's something wrong with me. And again, I had to drone in and drill into her and hone in for her that who she is perfect. Who she is who she is. What she may have done is different. And what her husband may have done, and I don't know her husband, but I'm not going to say that he's evil or wrong, or he just engaged in behavior that was out of alignment with your values and your commitment to each other, right? So it's not about him and like he's, a jerk, or that there's something wrong with you and what did you do to make him cheat on you. He cheated. You didn't do anything, because we have free agency. Maybe you behaved in certain ways that he was like, this is not attractive to me. This is not appealing to me. You're not attractive to me. So I'm going to go over here and engage over here in this relationship. Again, very painful stuff here. Very painful stuff. But he engaged in behaviors. You might have engaged in behaviors that whatever. I don't even want to say contributed to his cheating, because again, free agency. But What you did or did not do does not change the fact that who you are at your essence is a great person, is a good person. And if you are not a good person, or if you're not a great person, and you self-identify that you're not a good person, then you work on that for yourself. You don't work on being a good person so someone else will like you. You work on being a good person because you live with yourself. You have to live and die with yourself. And so your job is, if you don't like yourself, is to work on yourself. And that includes changing your behaviors. And you have to decide what those behaviors are. You cannot let somebody else dictate for you what those behaviors are. If you cooked more, if you just, we were more intimate, if you it weren't so naggy, if you put me first before the kid, like like there's all kinds of things that it's like it's your fault, right? And vice versa. And we do all this, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault, right? And again, there may have been behaviors that have contributed to this dynamic where people don't like each other, but it's not that they don't like you. They just didn't. You're just either you're don't like the behaviors, or you're not aligned in your values, right? And so I say this to you to remind you, you know, people are not going to like you. And it's okay that people don't like you, because you are who you are. And do not ever apologize for that. And third, if there's something that someone doesn't like you about, ask yourself, what are the behaviors that, may have contributed to that? And accept that it's just possible that we are just not energetically aligned. Some people, again, I can walk into a room and without me even opening my mouth, somebody's either going to be like, I think I like her. Or they can be like, I can't stand her. There's something about her I can't stand. I can't put my finger on it. I can't stand her. And okay, like energetically, like that's unfortunate, but like we're not all the same person. We're not all energetically aligned, and that's okay. And so I say this to you, if you needed to hear this today, that people are not going to like you, and that's okay. It's okay. You have to decide if you like you. And if you don't like yourself, then you have to do the work of liking yourself. Because guess what? When you like yourself, the people that are going to like you, you're going to be aligned, and you're going to be energetically in flow with these people, and that's going to just improve your life. So I hope that this was helpful. I just felt like I needed to say this. I think I just needed to, somebody might be watching this out there and needed to hear this today, or whenever you're seeing this. So I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.